So, 2 years and 2 days ago, I was given this. It's running now, it wasn't running a minute ago. This is a watch, obviously. It's a very nice watch, the mundane, automatic. It's got the, actual automatic movement. It's given me to This was given to me by my wife just before our wedding day. It's a very nice watch. I've admired this watch for years. It's simplistic and elegant and everything I'm not. Which is probably why I like it, weirdly. And I've worn it a lot since. But the strap is, as you can see here, it's a very nice strap. It's genuine leather, so who knows what that actually means. It's a lovely strap. It is black, and I don't wear black belts or black shoes that often, so we need to change it up a little bit. So that's the plan, is to make a couple of new straps for this watch and maybe style it in slightly different ways rather than London business. That's how I describe this look. Apart from it's not a Rolex or something like that, because that's what those business people probably wear. This is much more elegant. I'll probably get a load of crap in the comments for that. So, I went online, bought some stuff. These are a load of watch strap fittings from Cousins, I think they're called. Ignore this one. This is for the next project. I can go. We're gonna casual up this watch by making a NATO strap. Never made a NATO strap. I've made two watch straps. Neither of them have been particularly good. Have I used either long term? Looking behind myself at my shelf of stuff that doesn't get used anymore. No, I don't think I used either of them long term. So anyway, we've got the hardware. This is enough hardware for... Let's not lose that. Back in you go. As I was saying, this is enough hardware for one watch strap, so can't really go wrong or lose any bits. I went online and found kind of found a pattern. I'll put a link in the description if I can re-find it. I had to extend it a little bit because actually it was really short. Because I have wrapped this around my wrist to test if it's long enough or not. It wasn't, which was lucky that I did that before I started recording. So technically this should... This is a terrible camera angle. This should fit my wrist with a watch on as well. So that's good. We've got all the holes marked out. We've got where all the links go marked out and where the buckle goes. So this should be enough to get us going, I think. That was a lot of talking. Shall I show you which leather I'm thinking about? This isn't quite big enough. So, I've had an idea. I was going to go with a nice burgundy, as I kind of mentioned, I think. Did I mention it? I don't know, I might have deleted the clip when I found the leather was too small. But I was going to go with the same burgundy as my cufflinks. Burgundy, oxblood, same kind of thing. Colourblind. So, not big enough, which is obviously an issue. Unless I did it like diagonally across, something like that, which you then waste a ton of leather, which I don't want to do. So I thought, let's apparently go a bit ostentatious. Go with this really, really blue, quite thick. Oh, I've got a thing. I can tell you what it is, because ta-da, 3D printer. 5, yeah, give or take 5 ounce leather. Doesn't, between a 4 and a 5. Quite cool. Designed it myself. Might eventually sell the STL file. Who knows? Anyway, quite a thick leather, so shouldn't need to line it on the other side. Might keep the suede on the wrist, which should feel quite nice. Other updates. Between then and now, Amazon Prime deals are on, and I bought a new watch. It's a Timex, and it's yeah, a dive-esque kind of watch, and it's pretty. It's got lots of colour on it, so I thought, let's add some colour to apparently a really classic snazzy watch, and you know, let's make it less dress watch. I wonder if I can get away with fitting the pattern. I can. Perfection. Is blue going to be ostentatious? Yes. Is it going to look good? Who knows? Let's get a blade in here and find out. Okay, that's ready. Ruler. Let's just slice this edge off, and we'll just play with that. Yeah, we'll go with that size. Oh yeah, also left-handed, so that's a terrible shot. Oh, and the light from that angle is dreadful. What I'm going to do, I think, off camera is tape this down and we'll catch up then. I need to stop tapping when I start recording. Don't know why I do it. Cool. We'll sellotape down. I think first thing I'm going to do is punch the holes. Now we're taped down. That one didn't come out. Shouldn't be doing this on the cutting mat, really. There we go. Yeah, we have some marks. Cool, so that's those, and then there is this one, which is slightly more challenging because it's like a double. Do one side, and the other. Oh, that definitely went through. Whoopsie. Can you see that? Yep. That's annoying. My own fault. Anyway, that's on the floor now. There's a bit of cleanup to do in there, basically. I did all that off camera, didn't I? Yeah, there's a hole there. You see. We can clean that up with some sandpaper and burnishing later on. So that's all the holes punched. So that was remarkably easy, I guess. this down to length. So if I've buggered up the size now, we restart, basically. Which I'm sure everyone will be thrilled by when it doesn't fit. Why are you not straight? Fascinating. Looks okay. You know what? Let's just go for it. Obviously, you think these things through beforehand, generally. Still really can't see much, can you? One more. Should separate that entire piece up to there. Yep, brilliant. I never said it was going to be perfect. You know, first NATO strap I've designed and made, so it's probably gonna have some minor issues. But we can work with that. I'm going to cut this corner. There you go. Really just need to like sort my desk out so there's actually room to work around. So easiest way to do this is just take small bites out of it. And then you end up with, this will now come off because it's completely unstuck. You end up with like a vaguely smooth corner, and you can just smooth that out a bit more with some sandpaper. There we go, that's cleaned up a little bit now. So we've got our basic. Can I fit the entire thing on the screen? Not quite. But we've got our basic strap. There's a piece of tape on the back of here. That's never coming off. Yes, it is. I've got it. Especially difficult as I don't have any fingernails. So we've got our vague strap. So I think we need to, next stage, bevel, burnish, sand, bevel, sand, burnish, that way around. Hopefully get it right around. Because once this is all folded, it will become challenging. Right, burnishing's done. If we can see the edges, but they're silky smooth all the way along. They'll probably do another coat. Obviously, we've still got the suede edge on the back. I was just consulting with the AI overlords to work out what thread colour to do for the cross bits, the bits that hold on the keepers, because one of these goes here, another goes about there, and obviously the buckle there. Not sure if this one's needed or not, but we're going to go traditional to start, and then maybe we'll make another less ostentatious one later on, which is more classy. Maybe, we'll see. But anyway, so there was a choice between silvery grey thread or my actual choice. I thought, well, we're going ostentatious, so why not just go the full hog? So red red kind of across the... It's only going to be a very, very small pop of red. I'm not going like the entire length of the thing. That does look quite nice in my personal opinion. Small pops of red across where these are obviously stitched on. So red, blue and silver. I think the red actually gives it a nice contrast. You're not bit, yeah, you know when we do the word salad. You won't be able to see much of it anyway. So I think it should be fine. I think it's going to look quite nice. I haven't actually got a stitching chisel that's the right size techno. Ooh, I think we've just got prongs hanging over each end. Just. Left-handed, everything's in the way. Again, into my new thing, but at this point, who cares? So that's our first holes punched. This goes in here, and that comes down, and then we stitch it. And that's the first, arguably the most important keeper, because this is the one that when it's, you want me to see this because it's completely, when it's folded, that the main strap loops through there. The main strap loops through there and holds the watch in place. So that's a very important one. Not much changed since last saw it, apart from I have just, don't know if that's going to focus, stamped what will be the back side, so against the wrist side of this with a stamp which I just, well, I say just 3D printed. It's an old stamp that I 3D printed a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, looks vaguely premium. So I just did that. Obviously put this keeper in last time and glued it. That's all glued and punched. Need to get that in and the other two keepers. So on the inside here I have just marked out a couple of points. I think the first thing to do is put them in and kind of see where they lie. So technically that's what we're going for. That is a completed NATO band. Don't know why I said it like that. So watch goes in this gap here. This obviously flicks up there. And then we stitch it. Yeah. So I think we need to punch some stitching holes. Annoyingly, I just broke my 4-prong. So I definitely need to buy some new stitching chisels. So we're going to have to go with the 6, but punch 4. Could technically use the 4-prong and just might be slightly better. Let's do that. 4-prong, which is a 3-prong. There's a missing tooth. There's the tooth. Don't ask how I broke it. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I need to punch there, 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 and there. This one's already done. That goes underneath. That's fine. And then we stitch. I'm not going to ruin my... hit the camera, really professional. Not going to ruin my surface this time. Whoa, that is white. That just needs to be pulled tight. I guess we're aiming center-ish of all that. Like there. Ow, that was my finger. Oh, that is blown out, isn't it? There we go. Don't need that for a minute, especially on the white surface. And then I guess I switch this round. Locate those two holes. And do that. Yep, that works. Ugh. So that's that one. It might be slightly wonky, but we'll go with it. And then we need one this side to obviously hold that one in place. So I'm going to loop the stitching round the edge as well. There we go. Loop the stitching round the edge as well, obviously to hold it all. I'm doing a hand gesture, but you can't see it. Hold it all really tightly and nicely in. Let's hope that's in the right place, because it's not going back now. Yeah. It's going to be tight, but it'll work, because you kind of want it to be tight. Cool, so that's all of our punching done. So technically, we now have what will equate to a completed strap once we've added this. It's going to be complicated because these are very small stitching rows. So the trick is you're meant to use 4 times the length of your stitching row, but that's like that much thread maybe, and trying to stitch with something that long is really difficult. So there's going to be a lot of wastage here. Way too much thread for what we need, but sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do. This is going to be impossible to get on camera, isn't it? Move it that way for a second. So we have, where are you going to focus? Oh, I do have a macro option on here, don't I? I have found the macro setting. This is going to be challenging to show because it needs to be literally that way. There you go. Where, come on, focus. You're here. There it is. That is going to be challenging. So you need to, so that's obviously head of the needle. First try. So you pull that through. This is going to be completely out of focus. Then you take the other end of the needle, poke it through your thing, so you end up with what will not work. Oh my god, I can zoom. Oh, am I zoomed? Oh. That's the issue, isn't it? So you end up with like that. You pull that all the way through. I pull this bit back a little bit first. And then you go boop. And that locks your needle onto your thread. Okay, so that's both needles on. We bring this back in. I might do this one up here first to secure the actual buckle. This isn't how I'd usually do it. I'd usually get the, usually I'd grab the stitching pony and do it on there, but for this case, so we want to go through that first hole and out the first hole. I'm not on camera. There we go. I'm going to do this kind of lazy because I want to get it done. And also, I know it's not gonna, I just want to, done is better than perfect. Someone sent me a picture of that the other day, and I'm trying to go with that as a mentality rather than everything being perfection. So then what we want to do is wrap those around the outside. So, yep, not caught that thread. So pull that one through. Then bring this one round. And out to the back side. And then just make sure you haven't caught the thread, because if you catch the thread, it becomes a real pain. And then, first stitch, try and pull it vaguely tight, whilst keeping, oh, it needs to come through a little bit, those symmetrical. There we go. So that is our first stitch. There's not much there to pull with. So yeah, at this point you just go for it. I'll do this one and then I'll do the rest off camera, because no one wants to watch that much stitching on camera. So through, pull, keep a little bit stuck out there. To the other side, pull both those sides back. Through again, and then just give a little tug on that previous one to make sure it's not caught on the needle. Pull that through, out, caught my finger then, that hurt, and tight. And that is your vague saddle stitch. It's not a perfect saddle stitch, saddle stitch, but it is one. It works, and it will hold your stuff together for, I don't think I've had one come apart yet. So again, through, try and keep it vaguely straight, pull, round, through again, little tug on this piece, not caught, brilliant, pull, tight. And then you end up with stitching. Slightly wonky. When it's on your wrist you won't notice. Yeah. So to get that finished, I think we can be clever here, because I can take this apart, put it through the next hole, but have it come out in the middle. Have it come out in the middle, and same for the next one. And this bit is a bit more challenging. There it is. And I should, because I'm working from top inwards, be able to do this with each and every stitch. Tie them together in a knot, and then just give them another knot. I like two because, you know, just holds that a little bit better. And then I've got a thread zapper, but you can just use a knife or like whatever. Let that warm up. Don't know if you can see the smoke coming off that, but you know, it's hot. So zap that thread there down at the knot. Zap that one down at the knot. And just like give it a bit of a smooth over. And then there we have it. So there's like a slightly melted knot in that groove then. And then we pull this one back down. That knot is going to get in the way slightly, so I'm going to have to work around it a bit. But that's fine. But yeah, so that 4 more times. Should be easy enough. Right, we're done. We're completely stitched everywhere. That was a pain. stitching things so small is just a nightmare trying to like actually tighten the threads. But it's not focusing at that level, but yeah, it's come out really nicely. I'll show you the logo on the bottom. Yeah, it's all done. There's some minor tweaks I'd probably make to the next one, but actually I think we need to get some beauty shots and then get a watch on it. I've taken the strap off of my Timex. Who knows if that's ever going to go back on. Let's see what it looks like on here. So that slots through there, and then out that side. Like I said, I think it's going to be a little tight. This goes back through. Sorry, off camera. That side. Oh, that. Don't know where to put it. That looks really nice. The blue of the dial goes quite nicely with that. Shall we try and get it on my wrist? Are we ready? This is going to be reversed for you, but it's on. I had to do it slightly tighter because it's not much give in it at the moment, though I'm assuming that will sort itself. And also it's not quite long enough for this keeper, so this bit's just flapping a little bit. But again, with stretch over time, yeah. I've got the other watch as well, which is just a silver bezel mechanical watch instead of quartz. But that looks quite nice and is actually really comfortable. So there we have it. Job done. Don't know how much I can get into the NATO style watch strap. Lovely. Oh, that's quite nicely centered. I hadn't actually looked into that. Don't know how close I can get there. But yeah, there we go. Job done.